very good afternoon to my friends and happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the sewing room where we are continuing on with another 5 of my Love and Kisses blocks. I popped them up all on the wall over the weekend and that side of the room just looks so nice and lovely and colourful. Over the last couple of days I've been working out how I work in this space now that I've changed it all up, and yeah, I'm loving it, guys. I tell you what, it's a real game changer when you can sit down and sew. Oh my gosh, I have been missing out. It is wonderful to now sit down and sew. It's such a small thing, but it is so good. It's life-changing. I love it. So over the weekend we're doing a nice lovely batch of these blocks, and I've just been going like step by step, chain piecing lots of things through, and yeah, it's just been really nice just to sit and chain stitch in front of my machine and it just be a really nice, relaxing, mindful thing to do. I've been loving it. But right now I am about to do just a little bit of a pressing session. I have some half square triangle duos to press open, and I thought I would do that while I have a chat and yeah, just sort of, I don't know, talk about stuff. So yeah, let's do it. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone who watched my sewing room refresh and tour video, and for all of the lovely comments that I got on that video as well. Oh my gosh, you guys are all superstars, and I'm so grateful that I have such a lovely community of people that watch me and that they give such great advice and wonderful feedback, and yeah, just a really lovely group of people for me to make content for, and I know that you will appreciate and love it, so thank you so much. Also, thank you to everyone for the great advice about the ironing wool mat. No, I've said that wrong. The wool ironing mat. So in my tour video I showed that I got one of these wool ironing mats and I was going to put it on my table here, and a lot of people said to put something underneath this because the steam will go through and ruin my sewing table. I didn't know that that was a thing that could happen, so I'm going to look into a few different options to put something underneath that so I can use it on the sewing table. At the moment I'm using just this little, I'm not going to show you because I got the iron on, but it's a little mini collapsible ironing board that I got from IKEA ages ago. It looks like this, and I'm actually quite enjoying using this at the moment. It's little, it's petite, it's actually quite high up as well, so I don't have to be like, you know, bending over a little bit. It's nice and firm as well, so pressing on this is actually quite nice. So this has been a great alternative while I figure out the ironing wool mat, the wool ironing mat. Of course I'm going to say it wrong. So yes, thank you to everyone who gave me some advice about that. The other advice that I received was about my design wall and the felt tiles that I have put up. Really great suggestions of how to make fabric stick to it. There was one suggestion that someone else had seen someone else do, and that was just sort of like using some sandpaper to rough up the actual felt tiles so that the fibers stick up. So then the fabric or the blocks will stick to the fibers that are coming out of the felt tiles. I'm going to give that a go. I'll do that on like a little bottom one and see if that does anything. If not, then people have suggested getting a flannel sheet or a piece of like flannel from the store. People have also suggested to just tack up a piece of batting, make it nice and neat so it looks neat as well. And I really like all of those ideas, so I will definitely take them on board and keep them up here. So when it gets to a point where I'm like, I hate pinning stuff to this design wall, then we'll give those ideas a go. But at the moment the pinning thing is not so bad. Yeah, we'll just see how long my sanity can take it, I guess. So I'm just going to continue pressing these little duos open. Then we will be at the stage where we can start constructing all of the blocks together. When I'm making the Love and Kisses blocks, I actually really like doing about 4 or 5 in like a batch. I think of it almost as like batch sewing in the way that you would think of batch cooking, where you do like a whole sort of big cooking session and then put it all together. So I've got 5, which is a whole row. So we'll have 1 full row finished all together, which is great. Well, my friends, I've just had the most loveliest little afternoon sewing session, just sort of zenning out and just focusing on getting my 5 little blocks done. I thought I'd quickly show you each one that I did before I pop it up on the design wall and see how they sort of merge with all the other blocks that I've made. So first one is this one. I really like the subtleness of this one, a really lovely little heart. Next one is another black heart. This is the 3rd black heart block that I've made, and I like that there's like a juxtaposition between hearts. So we've got a nice lovely little sweet one, and then we've got a black heart. Yeah, I don't know, I just really like it. And I also used another Chula pink fabric. This one's got really angry owls on it. I don't know whether they're supposed to be angry, but I think they're angry. I don't know. There's one in there. Tell me that that owl does not look angry. I don't know. It is a really nice print though. Really, really pretty, but angry owls, I think. The next one is just like a really nice generic kind of like white daisy. Can you tell on camera? I can't quite see, but I thought that one was just really quite sweet. A really simple sort of pattern. And then the last 2, I used some leftover fabrics that I've used in a past quilt along. The fabric range is called the Sultan's Garden, I think, from what I can remember, but the floral fabric is just stuff that I had left over. I'm like, I'm gonna pop that in to the quilt as well, because, you know, the main overall kind of vibe we're going for with this quilt is florals and like a scrappy mix matchy kind of vibe, you know, so I thought they would be perfect to add as well. So to put the blocks up on the wall, I've been using these entomology pins. These pins are by SOHMO, and yeah, they're just called entomology pins, and they've got like a black kind of head to them. They're really thin, they're super sharp, and they just sort of like go straight in to the wall, or to the felt on the wall. Been so far pretty easy to use, so yeah, let's pop them on the wall. Hello, very good afternoon to you, my friends. Happy Thursday, and I hope you're all doing well and are having a lovely week. Before I go on, I gotta put my camera on charge. One of the good things about this camera is I can charge it while I am speaking to you, so I can pretty much chat forever and the battery not go flat. I'm not going to do that, don't worry. But I thought just for today, I just want to take a little bit of time to share with you some of my favourite things that are just making life just a little bit rosier, a little bit more happier at the moment. And I know that there's lots of you watching that like to see what my favourite things are for the moment. I used to do monthly favourites way back in the early days of my channel. I will link the playlist below and you can just see how much I've aged over the last 10 years. Yeah, I used to do monthly favorites all the time, but now I just kind of incorporate them as like a monthly things that are just bringing me joy at the present moment. So that's what we're going to be sharing. I've got myself a cup of tea to sip on as we go along, and this tea is actually one of my favorite things. So the tea that I'm drinking at the moment is this one. It is the Yorkshire tea Caramelised Biscuit Brew, and I love the other Biscuit Brew one, which is like biscuits and tea flavoured, but it is no longer available in Australia anymore, and I can't find it anywhere. I'll have to do a deep dive somewhere to see where I can find it. But this one I actually sourced from David Jones, which is like a big department store here in Australia, and they actually do have this still available on their website. It is a lovely tea. It's quite a strong tea, so it's got lots of depth of flavour, and it's just really nice to have with actually a biscuit or a little bit of chocolate, or just sort of like de-stress at the end of the day. This one's really, really good. I like it more in the afternoon than in the morning, but yeah, that one's been a big favourite recently. Carrying on with the nice warming vibes, I got a new candle a couple of weeks ago, and I actually haven't lit it yet, but it is So lovely and warming, and it's just perfect for the cooler months that are now upon us here in Australia. I got it from TK Maxx, and it doesn't have a brand, but the flavor or the scent is black vanilla and musk, so it smells really sweet, but then it also has like that nice sort of musty smell. It's not musty, no, that's not right. When I smell it, it actually smells like creaming soda. Why that is, or how that works, I got no idea, but it smells delightful and just really, really nice. And I really like the artwork on the front. It's just a really nice, lovely, cool floral, and that would be really nice in a fabric, I think. But yeah, I've had that one open like this in my room, and it's just filled the room with such a lovely sweet scent that's nice and warming. Really nice. Another sip. Let's go on to some beauty favorites. I recently treated myself to some L'Occitane body things. I actually got this in a set, so this also came with the almond shower oil as well, but I've already used it because it was a tiny little bottle and I just absolutely loved it. It was such a treat in the shower. But I have also been using the milk concentrate like body lotion, and this one is like a body, it's called a supple skin oil, and they've just been so divine to use. I use this one every day, and it's just luxury in a jar, seriously. It just smells so nice and just like fresh and clean. I've been loving this stuff, and having a shower every day has just been such a treat using these products. So they are expensive, but you know, if you want to treat yourself, just give yourself like a little bit of a nice sort of like couple of months showering, then I highly recommend this. Just really nice products. The next thing that I've been really liking just recently are the SOHMO mini clips. I actually mentioned these in my sewing room refresh video, and they're like basting clips or sort of like sewing clips. They're almost like little wire pegs, and I've just been sort of reaching for them more than my other ones when I've just been doing little hand projects. I just like that they're really super strong, and once they're sort of like clipped, they're clipped, they're not going anywhere, and I really like that. I like that there's 50 in the box, so if you're doing a big project you just won't run out because there's so many of them. But yeah, the SOHMO mini clips, really good, highly recommend. Been loving them, using them in just little projects. Okay my friends, we have changed locations and it's a little bit later on now. The next favourites I wanted to share with you are in my room because they're books, and it's a book series that I have been reading since around February, and I've just totally demolished them. It's just such a good book series, and it is this one. It is called The Kindred's Curse Saga, and so far there's only 3 books out. There is a 4th one coming next year, and I'm so annoyed that I have to wait that long, but I've just recently finished the 3rd book in the series, Heat of the Everflame, and it's amazing. It was so good. So the first book is Spark of the Everflame, 2nd is Glow of the Everflame, 3rd is Heat of the Everflame, and the 4th one is going to be, I think it's called Burn of the Everflame. But guys, check them out if you're into like fantasy, slow romance, really cool world building, magic, just a really cool imaginative sort of magical world. Just really cool. The story and the characters obviously evolve and get better as you go through the book, so just be aware of that. But yeah, if you have time and are into these kind of books, then I would highly recommend this series. But yeah, you are gonna have to wait for the 4th book until next year, which is a little bit annoying, but these have been a great favorite read so far this year, and yeah, highly recommend. Well, a very good afternoon to you my friends, and happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. I also hope you all had a lovely Easter weekend. I hope it was restful and happy and joyful in your own kind of way. Today we are back sewing. It's actually a rainy day today. The weather really can't make its mind up. One moment it's sunny, another moment it is absolutely pouring down with rain. But at the moment it's choosing to be both sunny and rainy. Who knows how that works. But anyway, today I am back making some more of my Love and Kisses blocks. I am determined to get this quilt finished. And although I am determined to get them finished, I have also decided to make the quilt bigger than what I originally planned. I was going to do 5 by 6, but I think I'm going to do 6 by 6, and that's rows. 6 rows by 6 rows, which means I've got at least another 10 or so to make. Why not? Let's just make it as big as I can. So over the weekend I actually did a little bit of sewing. I've started making another 6 blocks, and I chose prints that were really quite fun and bright, and I think will go really well with what I've already got on there. So we're doing another black heart, and this is with another tulip pink print, and this one's got like an elephant on it. This one's an angry elephant instead of a angry owl. Then we're moving on to some like native Australiana prints. This one's not floral, but I like the colours. I think it'll be really cool. I found an old school purple print that I have used so many times, and I thought it would look good in this one. And then a couple of bright oranges, because I don't really have a lot of oranges in the quilt top. So as the rainy afternoon continues along, I'm just going to trim up the half square triangles, chain stitch each of them together, and yeah, just see how much I can get done throughout this afternoon. Happy days. I love sewing when it's raining. It's like the perfect weather to stay in, be cozy, sew, and just, yeah, make and create. Yay. Over the weekend while I was doing some sewing, I did something to my machine that I had been needing to do for a very, very long time, and that was clean it and also oil it, because it was sounding awful. It was crunching and just, oh, it just sounded so raw and awful. I have oiled the machine before, but I always like to just like reference the manual just to make sure I'm putting oil in the right holes, you know. So I got out my manual, had a look, gave everything a nice clean, actually took off the base plate and really gave it a good dust out, and then oiled the hook race inside. I also oiled up the top as well, and now she is just purring along and sounding really, really great. So I'm going to remind you in this moment right now, the next time you sit at your machine, give it a clean and learn how to oil it if it does need oiling, because I know that some machines don't need oiling, but definitely have a look at your machine manual to see if it does need oiling or any sort of lubrication or anything like that. But yeah, do it, because your machine will thank you, and it will just sound so much nicer, and you know, it'll be a very, very happy sound once it gets going, and it's just all nice and lovely. I very much encourage you, once you finish watching this vlog, then go and clean out your machines and give them an oil, and yeah, just see the difference, and your machine will thank you. So I am just gonna now sit very happily and chain stitch my little half square triangles together while the rain pitter patters outside, and I'm just gonna get lost in doing some sewing. afternoon to you, my friends, and happy Wednesday. I hope you're all doing well today. I was just about to sit down and continue editing this vlog, but I just realized yesterday I didn't get to show you the final blocks that I finished. I had a very productive day of sewing yesterday, getting another row and a bit of my Love and Kisses quilt top done, and I only have a couple more blocks to go, and I think we'll be ready to piece it together. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I will just quickly show you the blocks that I finished yesterday, because these 6 I think are among some of my favorites that I've made. They're just really fun and quirky. I love them. So here is block number 1 with a nice lovely pink subtle heart and some lovely native florals for the print. Block 2 is that really fun sort of like off yellow kind of print. It's not floral, but I still really liked it, and I think it'll look really cool in a quilt. It's just a really quirky print. Next one is that really nice lovely subtle purple floral. I really like this one, and it really makes the heart pop. Super cute. Next one is a nice bright orange. Love this one. I'm finding that the prints that have like a more intense kind of design really actually make the heart sort of pop. But this one's really nice, really vivid and fun. Then we've got the other orange one. This one's more like a grandma-y type floral, which I just love. And again, the really dense, kind of intense print really just makes the heart stand out. And then last of all, we've got another black heart. And like I mentioned, this one again is using another tulip pink print. This one is with angry elephants instead of angry owls, but I still really like it. Super cute. I'm not going to pop these up on the wall just yet, because I think I'm going to rearrange a few things, because I've now decided to make the quilt just one more row bigger. So yeah, we just sort of have to rearrange things, and I might just sort of change a few positions of things. So yeah, we'll leave these for the moment, and sometime in the next couple of days I'll pull out 5 more prints to do 5 last blocks, and then we'll start piecing this lovely quilt together. Happy days. To my friends, and happy Saturday. It's the 26th of April today. Oh my gosh, where has the month gone? It's insane. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well and all having a lovely weekend, and hopefully a lovely Saturday of doing some sewing, which is what I am doing. I'm having a great afternoon sewing up some more of my blocks. I'm a little bit of a broken record at the moment. I just sort of seem to be doing the same thing, but you know, I'm on a roll. I'm in a creative kind of roll along, and I want to get this finished because I think it's just going to look great once it's finished. I only have 5 more blocks to go, and I've been working on them today. Once those blocks are done, we can piece it together, and I can show you the lovely quilt top. I have a little bit of piecing to do while we have a bit of a chat. Before I finish this vlog and say all my goodbyes, I just wanted to share 2 more extra favourite things that I've been loving recently. The first one is the other day I finished watching The Pit, which is a TV show it's on HBO Max, I think, but in Australia I watch it on Binge, and I have to say it is such a great show. I think if you are an old school lover of ER, the drama TV show that was on in like the 90s, if you loved that show, then you'll definitely love The Pit. Just really great medical drama, wonderful cast, really great storylines. It was shot just incredibly well. I do find it hard to believe that any emergency department would have that much drama happening in one day, but I mean, it's a TV show, what do you expect? But if you have the capability or the capacity or the time or the interest in watching it, then I would definitely recommend it. It's such a great watch. And then I think my final favourite definitely has to be my refresh here in my sewing room. I have been using this new space over the last couple of weeks, and it feels so good, and the space just feels really nice to be in. It's exactly what I wanted in terms of being inspired to get in here, and so the layout works really well. It feels like I've been sewing like this with like the ironing board over there and my cutting station, and then sitting down and sewing. I feel like I've been doing it for ages, whereas I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks. So yeah, the flow of this room is so much better. The space in the room is better. The way that I'm able to access things is so much better. So this new space that I'm in, this new refresh that I've done, it's been a definite big favourite this month, and yeah, I'm excited to be in here and to be sewing and to be making more, really. So this afternoon I'm just going to continue going through the different steps in making my 5 last Love and Kisses blocks, and hopefully soon I will be able to show you the quilt top. I'll piece it all together and I'll share it possibly on Instagram, because the next videos that are coming out, hopefully, if I really pull my finger out and get them done, is going to be all about the quilt along. I will have an introductory video introducing the quilt along and everything, and then the next video should be the first tutorial of block number 1. I've been working hard all last week to just get things started, getting the ball rolling, getting the patterns made. I've been working on the first 3 blocks. So this coming week for me is going to be a busy one, getting all that all filmed and edited and uploaded to begin our quilt along. So yeah, I'm really excited to get it started. So until next time, my friends, thank you all so much for joining me again in my sewing room, and I will definitely see you all again sometime very, very soon. Bye bye.